guys think? Pan Am.
I think this is a really, really fun game. I wasn't sure what to expect, placing but it's like this weird. It's not a super hardcore Euro game. It's like, I think a mid-tier approachable game
like
for
a
a lot of
midweight
people.
Euro game. Yeah,
it's fun. It like the theme works, and I love the randomness.
I don't know, like, the defining things for a Euro game for me are, like, the theme doesn't really matter all that much and limited player interaction. And I feel like there is a fair bit of player interaction. I guess not really. I guess that's all just for the worker placement, the bidding.
Yeah, which is how most Euro games do it. It's like
Right.
the interaction is,
So I guess
fuck you, I'll take this first.
So it's in that respect, it is a Euro. The theme actually, I think, does matter to this one. I think the theme is actually
Agreed.
integral to the gameplay to a certain extent.
It makes like it makes sense with some of the thematics and mechanics going on.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a history lesson in there, like learning a little bit about the history of Pan Am.
It is interesting because like Pan Am is like a company that like matters so much to the 21st century, but
doesn't exist.
Disappeared before any of us were born.
Yeah. Kind of wild. What'd you think, Paul?
I liked it. I thought it was cool. I feel like our strategies kind of kept us away from like screwing each other over. Like, I'm gonna get that. Like, we
didn't have a lot of bidding wars.
Yeah, we could have like spent money to try to
deny other people.
But I feel like there are so many strategies to the game that, like, especially the first time playing it, the more that I was just kind of trying to get, because these cards were special.
Yeah, those
directive
you
cards
kept getting
big,
really good ones.
There were some really good ones in there, and then rather than like grabbing these or trying to outbid for whatever reason, like we all initially thought airports were great, but then we like stopped buying them like altogether.
I think they're valuable very early game.
Yeah.
And after that point, they don't matter that much because you end up accruing a ton of these destination cards, so you don't need them.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. How many players can you play with this?
4.
That's
max 4 players.
Because there's so many. Like, you don't really have to ever bid more unless you just want to screw people over.
With less players, you get more engineers.
Oh, interesting.
You get, I think with 2 players, you get 5 engineers, and with 3 players, you get 4.
That could be interesting.
So and with less players, I think there's probably going to be a little bit more of a chess match to it with that aspect, like trying to do a little denial while you're also
and that's the cool thing about it too, is
strategy.
that I feel like you could play it again and again to really try out those different strategies, because like there's a lot of ways to do really well. It was hard to figure out how to establish routes, and that's the other thing I liked. I liked that once you establish the route, you don't have to upkeep it.
Yeah,
like you don't have to worry about somebody coming in and like screwing you over or whatever. It's nice to just kind of be like, okay, cool, the route's done.
Yeah,
I don't have to. And I was even holding onto my cards because I was like, but they're part of my route, and
that doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh, first off, at the start of the expansion phase, Pan Am expands once along the European path. You're gonna buy that route from me for $5.
Why is it $5?
Because of this route bonus.
It's only worth 1.
Chart. It was a 1 distance path. Got it. So they bought it from me for $5, but I get my plane back.
Lose some income.
Cool. And then from this, I do lose 1 income from it. Right? One thing that I wanted to comment on. I was talking to Dustin about this before you guys got here. This is a game from Funko Games, or Prospero Hall was their name before Funko bought them. They are I've said many times on this show, they're my favorite game development company or team, because they do a whole lot of licensed games, and they do them very well. They did the Back to the Future board game. They did Disney Villainous. We played Rear Window last week. That was one of theirs.
Even their the Funkoverse game that they make is really fun.
Yeah, they do a lot of my favorite games, and the thing that I think they do very well is they find interesting and often unique twists on classic board game mechanics that very much fit the theme of whatever license they're working with, and they do so in what is typically a pretty simple game to learn how to play. This game, I'm pretty sure is the most complex Prospero Hall game I've played.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also don't know, like, I think the theme is the loosest compared to other Prospero Hall games.
I would say
it still matters, but a little less than most Prospero Hall.
It's not a licensed product. Like So
even though it is,
yeah,
it's not.
It is, but yeah, it's not. It's not Marvel or Star Wars or anything like major.
Right.
But I think they do such a good job with making it work. Like they care so much about Pan Am as they do Back to the Future.
Right. Yeah.
or
Every one of their games.
Bricks, whatever they put in their games.
Right. I just I think this one, out of all of their games that I've played, this feels the least like them to me.
I can see that.
It's still a good game.
It's incredible.
It's quite a lot of fun. I've seen people drawing comparisons to Ticket to Ride.
Yes.
It's been a long time since I've played Ticket to Ride, so I don't really remember what similarities there are.
It's got the map, the different like placing, like
the board looks very similar.
Yeah, it's not Ticket to Ride, but I can see where the comparison comes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
So here's the question: Do I buy stock now at 6 and hope that it's much more expensive next
round? Yeah, this is gonna be like 10. Set the stock price to 10 or something.
Maybe stock crash.
Maybe it's because he's retiring.
Damn it. Okay.
It. I'm gonna buy 2 stock. I don't give a.
I'm buying 4 stock,
and I'm gonna buy 3. But yeah, it's solid. It's fun. I think what's weird is like wrapping your head around. Oh, the only thing that really matters are the stocks.
Yeah.
All the rest of these mechanics are just to earn enough money to buy stocks.
It doesn't matter how poor you treat your employees,
right?
Or how many of your employees are sitting on the runway,
which is a little
and full of passengers and not leaving.
Which is a little weird for a game that's all about thematically making airplanes like fly around the board and stuff. But really, it's all about just buy stocks.
It's about helping Pan Am take over the world.
Well,
it is. Yeah,
it's basically setting up the infrastructure. It's like, okay, yeah, we started this town. Oh, railroads passing through. Time to stop.
Yeah. But yeah, that was fun.
But the money is the most important thing. Like, and then when you
the money we made along the way,
knowing when to buy the stocks.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
But if we would have, like, I think that with our game, we would have even bought it early or whatever. It wouldn't have made much.
Because the stock price didn't really move
all
much
made as much
our game
as we could, except for you.
Yeah, I had one.
You had one time
one up where it cost me $3. My strategy was just all about like, let me sell to Pan Am as early and often as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Which
kind of your income. But it gives you more.
But it does help. But the thing is, like, the cash is like, by the time I started selling to them, it was already paying me more than the income was going to pay me for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Well, and getting the planes back.
Yeah, getting the
planes back to go.
That's another route. That's because whenever I should have sold earlier. That the first time I rolled the Pan Am. Because then I could have re-put those planes in other places because I was out of plane.
Right.
That's the thing
I barely bought new planes.
What I would do differently,
I was just selling my routes repeatedly.
Most of my routes that I bought were the ones that Pan Am doesn't by default get a chance. I have to purposely sell. So I think next time I go after like dotted lines and
That's one thing I did when I noticed that's how that mechanic worked and was going this way. I was like, I'm going to change and I'm going to try to get these motherfuckers.
When I had, I can't remember what card I had. I don't know. Something about the early game, I was like, ooh, I want to get an airport over here so that I can get a route right next to Miami before Pan Am expands there. And it ended up taking them 3 rounds to go up this way, but they did end up going this way. And
that's probably the lowest.
It is really a funny strategy, though. It's like, oh, Pan Am, pick me.
Yeah.
I'm being a good little airport.
Yeah.
Pick me, please.
That's also capitalism. It's like we're going to start a company, and our goal is to be profitable. Is not to be profitable. It's just to stand out enough so somebody buys us.
Yeah, I mean that's what your game company did.
Model.
That's what Funko. The Funko got bought
on Prospero Hall. Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
The difference there, those guys all, I believe that team all stuck around and just kept making games. They just got access to more licenses.
Yeah,
right, exactly. But that because they were good at what they did, and they were good game makers. And then they made a game about what they did.
Going back into the future.
Really fun. I want to play it again. That was cool.
The fun one.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. If you want to spend more time with us, do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, head on over to twitch.tv/BNB Tabletop and give us a follow there. We play board games live every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a show we call The Board and Barrel. And we like to keep things interactive. You guys can influence what happens throughout the course of a game with our Buff and Nerf house rules. You can also make predictions on how things are going to pan out, play virtual bingo for a chance to win a free board game of your own, and heckle us and stuff from the chat. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you Sunday night.